1/4 pieces of this line, okay? So if you're making these at home, you would take a whole line and cut it to 8 pieces, okay? It's equivalent to the whole line. All right. 6, 7, and 8. And yes, the bartenders downstairs use tongs every time they make the Caipirinha. They don't touch them with their bare hands. Just kidding, we do actually. All right, but they're cancer plate. All right, the next thing we do is grab a little sugar. Simple syrup. Simple syrup is a bartender's best friend. Because if you take one of my classes before, I wax on about simple syrup because I like it, I love it, and it's great to use at home. I use it for my coffee. I take something here, or I make it at home, and I keep it in the fridge about this much. It lasts me forever, and I use it to sweeten my coffee. And all it is just sugar and water. You just take half equal parts of both, let it simmer on the stove for maybe like 10-15 minutes, and it comes out to a nice syrupy consistency, and it's a nice sweetener. Okay. Now what we have upstairs, we have a rooftop garden upstairs, and we grow a lot of our own mint, a lot of our own tomatoes, peppers, and we're growing stevia upstairs. Okay, and it's a natural sweetener, and I'm working on using that in our simple syrup and make it a little bit more health conscious, but not as sweet, but still serve the purpose. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it in mind. Okay? So, excuse me. So I'm taking an ounce of simple syrup. Now, folks ask all the time, what's the key to a good cocktail? And I tell them the same thing: follow the recipe. Just like baking a cake, anything else, you know, there's a recipe there for a reason. You want to have nice balance to your drinks. A drink with heavy alcohol doesn't make it a good drink. You know, if you're at the bar and you think they're pouring your soft drink, you say, oh, you'll put more rum in it, put more vodka in it. If you want to get trash, yeah, that's great. But if you want a true cocktail, stick to the recipe. You know, that's how you have a true balanced cocktail, and that's what you're there for, okay? So here at Carnivale, we don't, if you say, give me more rum, it's okay, that's fine, no problem. You're just going to charge you 2 drinks. But it's better to have the cocktail the way it's meant to be and follow the recipe. So 1 ounce of simple syrup, my 8 pieces of lime, now I'm going to muddle, okay? Now muddling is important because, you know, when you get this muddling in your hand, the first thing you're going to do is start, and that's dangerous. So what's going to happen, you're going to either crack the glass or cut yourself, which is not funny. And also, too, if you go too far with it, all the citrus fruit here, we're trying to get the juice from the lime. Okay, we don't want the oils from the rind. The oils are going to make our drink very bitter. We want that nice citrus lime flavor. We want that real bitter. All that's from the lime. So you have a cocktail that's muddled, Caipirinha or mojito, and you find it's a little bitter. That's because the bartender went overboard muddling. Okay, and you got a lot of oils in here from the citrus. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold the glass firm on the table, take my muddler, and I'm going to do the same process like a old school pharmacist would do in grinding pills. So I want to just turn it a little bit, applying pressure, hitting all my lines, okay, getting all that juice out of there. Okay. Do this to a solid count to yourself, maybe like 8 to 10. Count slowly, 8 to 10, and that should be enough, okay? Again, I just want to get the juice out of my limes. I don't want to beat the hell out of it and get all oiled in my drinks. Ruined. Okay? Alright. Oh. So I broke the glass, I just broke one. Alright, I'm going to use a cup. These are rented glasses, they're not Carnivale glasses, so this won't happen when you have your drink downstairs. Okay? Alright. 2 ounces of LeBlanc. Okay? Like I told you, the jigger, the small end is 1 ounce, so just do it 2 times. 1, 2. Now our bartenders are downstairs are trained to use a jigger. I mean, nowadays it's cool, it's chic to use a jigger. Back in the day, when I was bartending, it was kind of the use of measuring tool, you know, it was kind of amateurish, it was, you know, it looked like a nerd or whatever, but now with everyone behind the bars calling themselves a mixologist, so they all have their iodine droppers and their, you know, they're measuring. That's great, that's awesome. If they can work with all that stuff, that's more power to them. I'm kind of old school, but I do believe in using correct measurements. So I do use a jigger because I want my drink to, again, like I said, stick to the integrity of the recipe. All right. So I added my ice, added my cachaça, and I'm just going to mix this a little bit. So you take my shaker, Pour the contents of my cocktail to sugar. Do this once or twice. Just a little. That's it. I just made a caipirinha. That easy, that simple.